Hi, I'm Chris Muchler, VCDX257 from virtualelephant.com. And in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get Cilium's cluster mesh technology set up across two different clusters in different availability zones. Let's get started. Let's currently review how I've deployed these two Cilium clusters within my VMware SDDC environment and leveraged NSX to actually build out two virtual data centers within my lab to be able to simulate different availability zones. Here on this screen, you can see my NSX-T topology. And what I have here is I've set up two tier zeros, one that I'm calling AZ1 and another that I'm calling AZ2. And within each of these availability zones, I have a tier 1 for the cluster mesh in AZ2 and one as well in AZ1. And then from there, attached to that tier 1, I have a cluster mesh segment that the VMs for Kubernetes live on, as well as a VIP network that I'm leveraging for the NSX Advanced Load Balancer, which is front-ending the Kubernetes cluster. And I have that same thing set up here underneath availability zone 1. If we look at this, and what I've tried to do is actually make this look as much as possible like two different data centers. So if we go to the traffic analysis under the plan and troubleshoot, we can select the first controller in cluster 1, which is in availability zone 1, and then we can select the first controller in cluster 2, which is in AZ2, and perform a trace. And what you're going to see here is that this is simulating as much as possible two separate data centers within my own home lab. So the trace is complete, and you can see here, controller 1 goes up through the segment to the tier 1, and then it goes northbound out of the tier 0 through my spine leaf network back into the tier 0 for AZ2, and then back down to the second controller. And so this is how I've got L3 working across my home lab to be able to simulate two separate data centers. Now from there, we're going to jump right into my two clusters. So the cluster at the top of the screen is in availability zone 1, and the cluster in the bottom of the screen is in availability zone 2. And as we look at these, I've already installed Kubernetes, but I've not yet installed the Cilium CNI within the environment. So if we do a kubectl, get nodes, you can see I have 3 controllers and 3 workers, and that is mirrored here in the second availability zone. You can also see that I'm running version 1.27.3 for Kubernetes. And if we do a kubectl, get pods -a, you can see that the base services containers are running, but that the core DNS is not yet running because there's no CNI. Again, if we look at the second cluster in AZ2, it looks exactly the same. So what we're going to want to do first is actually leverage Helm and install the Cilium CNI and do a base install. The first thing that we're going to do is actually add the Cilium repo to Helm so that we can leverage Helm when installing Cilium today. All right, so the first thing that we want to do now that we know that the clusters are running but that there's no CNI is actually install the Cilium CNI. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use Helm to do that. And you can see here that what I'm doing is I'm installing 1.13.4 of Cilium. I'm enabling Hubble as well as enabling Prometheus and setting up some of the metrics. As you can see here now, all of the pods are running, so we'll hit Control-C. And I do have the Cilium CNI installed on the controllers as well, so we can do a Cilium status. And so now we can see both Cilium and the operator as well as Hubble are running within the environment. Now that Cilium is installed, the next thing we want to do is actually configure the cluster mesh between the two clusters. Now, one thing to note when I was installing Kubernetes across these two clusters is that the pod CIDR networks need to be separate. So for the top cluster in AZ1, I used 10.244.0.0/16, and for the cluster in AZ2, I did 10.245.0.0/16. So when you're doing this, keep in mind that you don't want the pod CIDR networks to overlap with one another. All right, one of the things that you have to do before you enter this next step and actually configure the cluster mesh between the two clusters is one of the clusters or one of the hosts that you're using to execute these commands, they actually need to be able to have the context set up for both Kubernetes clusters. So in AZ1, I've gone ahead and done that. If we take a quick look at kube/config, and I have here AZ2 and I have AZ1. And so if we look at kube control, config, current context, I'm on AZ2. So we do kubectl get nodes. You can see this is the node C2-controller-123 for controller 1. So we can do kubectl config, use context, or we can get contexts if you don't know what they are off the top of your head. And then you can do a kubectl config, use context, and then we can go back to our first AZ1 cluster. We'll let kubectl get nodes, and now we're on that cluster. Okay, so there are two variables that we need to set up on the cluster IDs that cannot be identical to one another. And when you do a default installation of the Cilium CNI, leveraging Helm, it's going to use the same cluster ID 0 and the same cluster name of default within the environment. So we need to change that. So we're going to do that first in AZ1. We're going to do Cilium config set cluster ID to 1. And then we're going to do a Cilium config set cluster name to AZ1 cluster. So now that's unique. And then on the AZ2 cluster, we'll do Cilium config set cluster ID 2. And then we'll do a Cilium config set cluster name AZ2 cluster. So now that we've done that, we can actually enable the service mesh. So we'll do that first on the top. And so you're going to go Cilium cluster mesh, and then enable, and then service type is node port. So we'll let this complete, and then we will run the command on the AZ2 cluster. So now that the name and the ID are unique, and now we've enabled cluster mesh, and we can see that that's status okay here on both hosts, and we've also set up the context within the AZ1 kubeconfig file to be able to access both clusters, we're ready to actually configure the cluster mesh. And so what we do is we do Cilium cluster mesh, connect, and then context. Now this is the source, or the one that we're on now. So this is AZ1 Kubernetes admin at AZ1 cluster, and then the destination context, and this is AZ2 Kubernetes admin at AZ2 cluster. And now we've done it, and we can go Cilium status, and we can see that it's starting to bring up more of the daemon sets. And so if we do a kubectl get pods -a, we can see that it's now bringing up the cluster mesh API, the cluster mesh API server, and we're essentially waiting for Cilium to reconfigure itself as the CNI. So now things are almost running. You can see one of the nodes is still waiting. So that's it. Enabling the Cilium cluster mesh is really that easy. Once you have two clusters that are online and running the Cilium CNI, then making sure that you have a unique cluster ID and a cluster name, and then simply executing that Cilium cluster mesh connect command is really all that you need to do to be able to enable cluster mesh for Cilium across two different availability zones. Now, what can you do with it? And that's really the million-dollar question. By being able to have a cluster mesh set up across two availability zones, now you can run an application in both locations and be able to load balance requests across the two availability zones. And then also when one availability zone goes offline or becomes unavailable, the traffic will actually flip over to the other cluster. And we're going to show you how to do that in the next video using my sample application that I've written that leverages RabbitMQ, Nginx, and a Python publisher and subscriber within Kubernetes. Now, if you like this content about Kubernetes and Cilium in particular, please consider subscribing to my channel, Virtual Elephant, on YouTube, as well as reaching out to me either through a comment below or on Twitter at Chris Mutchler. As always, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel and letting me know what you think. This channel is going to cover all sorts of topics as you've seen around Kubernetes, Cilium, public cloud, multi-cloud, as well as the VCDX certification and the VMware Tanzu portfolio and VMware Cloud Foundation technologies. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.